Video is made about the white label that we offer to players in the industry that flip at least 200 phones a month. I understand that if you're a flipper or a cell phone repair store, you might got curious to see what we have in store for you. Once you get there, welcome as well. Today we're going to walk you through a little bit what the platform looks from our side. We're going to hold nothing back, and hopefully maybe this motivates you to get those 200 phones a month as soon as possible. And if you already do those, pay attention and let's see what we're gonna do. Okay, this is the BuyBack site. It's part of the white label package. It's a simple website where you can send your leads, where they can get a quote. They have to opt in with their name and their number. We confirm the number, add it to your lead database, right? We have talked about this before in previous videos. Your lead database is key in growing your, scaling your marketing campaigns with your audiences and your lookalikes and retargeting. It's mainly about the platform. Okay, so this is a white label client of ours. You might know him, Jeff Duhan, and this is the account where he manages this is where he manages his website. It's all simple copy paste, couple of variables, and your website is ready. Shipping address, contact details, etc. We have a page for locations. Our concept is really to work and scale the amount of cell phone repair stores and regulars, flippers that we work with. You don't really need to be a direct buyer to use this platform. We really haven't been direct buying a lot because we just have more regulars and stores that sell to us. And direct buying, of course, is a very low margin activity. More even so, you need a platform like this. So if you're a direct buyer, definitely pay attention. If you're just a flipper that wants to grow its business, this really is for you as well. So the idea is that you can add like stores very quickly to your map, link them to regulars of yours that have a store, or you can just create regulars as well. Every regular, you have a couple settings that are to basically set the price arrangements you have with them. So you're gonna have different price arrangements with different regulars and stores depending on the volume they bring you. We all know this in the direct buying space that not everybody gets the same price. The more you send us, the better we pay, because the less work it is for us to deal with you. Okay. Another interesting thing here is we allow to guarantee IMEIs from certain sources. We know as direct buyers or as street buyers, like we don't buy from auctions, we buy a lot of phones from the street, and we know that these phones can go blacklisted, right? The unique thing that we do with our system is after we sold the IMEIs, so obviously we check for the blacklist when we buy them, we check before we sell them because we sell a lot to South America. A lot of our buyers are in Brazil, Venezuela, Colombia, etc., and they need to have clean phones. Blacklist over there is unusable. Okay, so what we do after we sell a phone that's clean, 30, 60, and 90 days after because we keep track of those IMEIs, we do another blacklist check. And as soon as we see that a certain source gives us phones that don't go blacklisted more than 3 to 5%, we start guaranteeing these IMEIs. And that means we can get like 20, 30, 40, sometimes $50 more per phone by selling them to certain buyers that need them clean. And if they go blacklisted, we just refund them in part, or that we allow them to send them back, etc. But that is an amazing additional profit that we do just by keeping track of the IMEIs and doing these additional tests that only cost a cent per test. So it's 3 cents per IMEI that we invest in having this data. Okay, so our system does that automatically. Those are the sources. Then we have a team. So as a white label owner, you can obviously have your team, your assistants, everybody that has certain access to the system to help you out. The whole idea is that you initially do this by yourself. I think up to a couple hundred phones a month, you can easily manage by yourself with the system. But as soon as you go towards the 1,000 phones, you probably want to get some help, and you want that help to have access to your system. So here you can handle your team members, and there's no limit of team members. API keys. Those are basically the integrations with SigW, with IMEI Check, with Ivory iCloud, and with EasyPost. So all of these systems are integrated with ours after a one-time setup. And then we have a tab with buyers where you can basically, buyers can sign up. You can give them access to see your inventory, to see the prices, and even to instant buy. You can manage per buyer. You can manage if they have any credits. That means that they would be able to order and ship out and pay on delivery. You see that most of our buyers don't have credit. Everybody pays in advance. Um, we have a lot of buyers that we have not accepted on the platform, 53 buyers, because at the moment we don't have enough stock for them. We have been very busy with this platform to get this all ready, but we will get back to buying as much as we can. Um, then we have the platform, the portal. If you have looked the previous videos about the flippers and the cell phone repair stores, you have seen that they have access to the portal as well for everything that they sell to you as a white label. Um, that app will be white labeled as well. So you will be able, under your own brand, to provide all your regulars and your CPR stores that you work with, give them a branded app that allow them to sell to you, ship to you, get the prices, create the bill of sale, everything that they need, right? And then when they come in your bot app. Well, it's Friday now, so we don't have anything pending at the moment. But you can basically see all the shipments that came in and the phones that were part of that. You can then double check, test the phones, and add them to inventory. Okay, that means that your regulars and your cell phone repair stores can ship to you, and the moment it arrives to you, now you check it, and as soon as you approve it, you can add it to the inventory. And we're going to make some very interesting changes there soon, for which I will explain in a little bit. But the idea is that all this stock arrives tested. Now, we don't have a lot of people doing this yet because we only really recently rolled out Phonetest.app. Phonetest.app, if you haven't seen it yet, Phonetest.app is a phone test app for iPhones. So really the idea is that these phones, they come in, test it with 3U tools and with the Phonetest app. That means that they will have a full phone diagnostics, 3U tool diagnostics, and photo and video grading of the device. And once you have your regulars do that, then you can actually sell these devices to your buyers based on those photos, videos, and diagnostics before they even arrive to your warehouse, right? And that's really where this platform becomes interesting, because that's our goal. At the moment you can sell before you have to pay, that's when you're infinitely scalable. So if that got your interest, we have a whole lot more for you, this demo. Um, so basically, these are all the shipments. Then another thing that we did, we all know that AT&T unlocking, yes, it's free. You can do it on the website, but as soon as you get busy, you kind of forget about it, right? So we got busy, very busy last November 2023. We were doing like 1,000, 1,500 phones a month. Everything came in unorganized. Our previous system broke that we built on Google Sheets that some of you maybe have been using. So that was the time we rebuilt the whole platform ourselves. And we also set up a unlocking queue where whenever people send us AT&T phones, the moment they drop them off at the post office, we're going to check if we can unlock that phone. So by the time it arrives, if we could unlock it, it will be unlocked. So here you have a little list. We don't get a lot of AT&Ts at the moment, but you see that when we get AT&Ts, here we print the previous best buyer price. So that's the best price among the direct buyers we have in the system, was 65 bucks. But by unlocking it, it became 110. So a phone that we could sell for $65, and we probably have bought that for 30, 40 bucks, right? Now we have a $45 extra without doing anything. The phone arrives at a warehouse. If it's not unlocked yet, because you see sometimes we get a denial in 4 minutes or approval in like 16 hours, but sometimes it takes up to 4 days, right? It might already be in the warehouse. The thing is, as long as it's being unlocked in the queue, it's not being shown to our buyers. And only when it's done unlocking, it will show to our buyers with the unlocked condition. And then all we got to do, we get an email, we print a new label for it, and off to the races. Okay, so the unlocking is super powerful. You see here like 1, 2, 3, 4 in one shipment. So that is an easy $205 extra that we just earned on the way without doing anything, right? So if you get a lot of AT&Ts, you're gonna make a shitload of money here. We have had months where we made $1,500 a month purely on unlocks without doing anything. So if you get a lot of AT&Ts, this is going to be wonderful. And here we have the available tab. And the available tab is all the inventory that is ready to be sold, right? So stuff that is done unlocking, doesn't have to repair it, is in the warehouse, etc. And we show that with the diagnostics information we have. So here's the IMEI report. Obviously, when we show this to the buyer, we share it without the IMEI. Then we have the phone test report that gives us the full diagnostics, the photos we took with the camera, front camera, my pretty face, and here the photo diagnostics, where we can see a photo of every angle. Then obviously, if you do this, you should do this with a nice clean background. This is a test that we did this morning, and the full video of the grading as well. So the buyer is 100% certain that this is a phone that was on the photos and it didn't go out of view, right? This is all trick proof. And now the next step with this platform is obviously that once your sources do these tests, you can start selling these devices to your buyers before they even land in the warehouse. So that by the time they land, you've already been paid, you can pay your sources, and all you have to do is sort the devices from boxes to their right buyers and shipping it off again. So with the Phonetest app, you're going to be able to really reduce the time that you have to spend on these devices, because your sources will have to do these phone tests anyway before they buy the device, right? Not to buy the cat in the bag. So that is something that we're really excited about. But then you say, Robert, what happens if the buyer disagrees with the deduction or with the grading and we have a dispute, right? Right now, you probably get disputes left and right, WhatsApp, emails, videos, etc. But because of the Phonetest app, your sources and your locations, they did their grading to back up their grading on the phone. And if the buyer would disagree, you would invite them to do another grading, right? And then you see here in the sold tab, they can actually go to their device and to the transaction, and they can file a claim. And in their claim, they can say this is a test claim, right? And now what happens? You're going to receive their claim in your on your portal. And now, boom, there it is. The shipment from Robert that was all the way from July 23rd is now on top of your screen with a little exclamation mark, which says that Robert just filed a claim. This is a test claim, right? So now what you can do is you can respond. You can actually make the deduction that you find fair based on the phone test report that the buyer submitted. You can compare the two reports in your phone test portal or in this portal, and you can compare them and see who was right. And if you make the deduction here, the nicest thing about this is you can, in the portal, go and you click on your bought transaction. So you know exactly who you bought this from. And all you gotta do is compare the two, see who was right, and accept or reject the claim. And if you accept the claim, you pass it on to your source, and everybody gets what they deserve. Okay? So that's the claim system we're using. We haven't really had any claims anymore since we used the Phonetest app, but if we do, we pass them on. We don't take that loss ourselves. Okay? Buyers can simply buy IMEIs and then they go to the reserve tab, right? We do this because a lot of buyers, they pick and choose and then they wait for the end of the week. And then when they finally have like 10 or 20 phones, then they want to create the label, right? And we don't want to have all kinds of small shipments and put stuff apart. The moment they reserve it, it's still on a rack. It's still in the warehouse. We don't separate it because we only take phones from the system, right? So it's separated in the system. Nobody else can buy this. And then when they're done, all they got to do is they create a label. They put in their from address or they upload their own label, and they confirm. We get an email. Hey, this has been paid for. This is ready to ship. Here's the label. We pack it. We put the label on it, and it goes out the same day. Based on the credits, that a buyer has, they can or they cannot order without prepayment. If they don't have credits, they need a balance for them to create the shipping label, right? So this way also you have waterproof your whole workflow in the warehouse so that your assistant is not responsible for knowing if this is paid for or not, even though she can see everything in the system, okay? Um, Here on the reserve tab, you can see everything that was reserved. Well, we shipped out everything today, cancel it in case it takes too long. Like we keep the date that it was reserved here. There's two that were reserved on September 3rd. So we should probably either call this fucker up and see what's going on, or we just cancel it and make it available again for everybody else, okay? Then we have a for sale corner. A for sale corner, basically what it does, it allows you to package stuff from your available inventory, separate it, and then make that available for maybe a discounted price or package deal. So basically at the end of the week, or we do use a lot for eBay. So when we want to sell stuff on eBay, we separate it from available. We don't want to sell it to our regular buyers. We put it on eBay where we get better bucks for the stock. So we separate it out, we make a sheet, and then it's taken out from available. The other thing you can do is here you can see the for sale corner. You can have certain sheets and then you can broadcast them. And as soon as you broadcast them, they become available for everybody uh, on the for sale tabs, right? So you can create package deals for people that might not sell for the price that you want or for the price that the system generates. And then you discount them, you put them in the for sale corner, and they're gone. But if you don't want to do that, you can keep it hidden and then you can just sell it to buyers that are maybe not in the system or put it on eBay or whatever you want. So that's the for sale corner, just a different way to sell your stuff. And then finally, we have the sold tab where you can also see Carlos. We sent a message. We sent a shipment that was on Wednesday and it got delivered recently. So you see that whenever we have shipments here, we have tracking IDs. By the way, this will be white labeled as well. I see it's not yet. Um, but here your buyers, they see your label here and they will see exactly where the package is at, all under your brand, right? This makes you look super professional. um, and the best thing is we keep track of all the payments, because how many times have you not had a problem with payments, and how much do you owe me and how much do you owe you? And the biggest problem was when we start doing this, we send out invoices and we wanted invoices to be paid. And that all sounded great, but then we had some deductions, and then people sent out like 5 different payments, and it was just a pain in the ass to keep track of everything. So we created really a balance system. Payments, they can be added by the buyers. So here they can go to payments tab and they can add a payment. They can give us the transaction ID, even upload an image. And then it will arrive here in our system as pending. And all we got to do is we press confirm. We check everything is correct. Here, Carlos is a very well trained buyer. He does everything perfectly fine. And then we just confirm it. And now that payment will go towards Carlos's balance. So now we go to balances, and basically we have an overview of all our buyers. Actually, these are all the counterparties. So these are sources, buyers, locations, and we keep track of all the payments, incoming, outgoing, the shipments in and out, and the balances that we have with everybody who has how many credits, etc., etc. Right? So this is let's open Carlos. Where's Carlos? You see here that Carlos has a balance. He has a positive balance. Carlos is such a good dude. And here we see all the debits, the credits. We see that he sometimes orders shipping costs faster than the regular because he wants to overnight it. He pays for that. All of that is automated. As soon as he creates a label that is more expensive than the regular, he pays for the difference, and etc. That's all taken care of. So that is, in a nutshell, the system. Um, what we do really is, first of all, we make your business scalable, controllable, right? You're gonna have insight in everything that you're doing. You know your numbers. Then what we allow you to do is push most of the work to your sources and regulars and locations, right? Actually, they already do it. So you don't push it to them, you just make it visible in your system. So now you make sure that when they do the 3U tools, you don't have to do it anymore. When they do the Phonetest app, you don't have to do it anymore. And as soon as they do it and you don't have to do it, you can start selling before it arrives. And that's really the key in this business, is to make your turnover time lower than your payment float. Because as long as you're tied to limited working capital, you're never going to scale in this business. Okay. Um, you're going to have the app, you're going to have the platform. You can use it with unlimited team members, unlimited regulars, unlimited locations. This is all performance based, right? So we become partners and we're going to help you grow from a couple hundred to a couple thousand phones a month in a very sustainable and scalable way. While you do that, you can use all our tech. So the Phonetest app becomes available for you, for your regulars, for your locations. The Snatch bots, this is our proprietary Facebook and OfferUp marketplace bot integrated with ChatGPT that constantly 24/7 looks for new deals, messages them, follows up, and gets you in a foot in the door. Increase, like, we haven't spent money on ads for so long, and now even we do, because we're testing a BuyBack AI. That's something else. One of my businesses is Lose No Lead. Lose No Lead is a buyback chatbot, or sorry, a chatbot, AI chatbot business, where we do database reactivation campaigns. We do speed for lead, but we basically create chatbots that completely autonomously take in leads from your website, from your Instagram, from your Facebook, from your WhatsApp, from your SMS, from your missed calls, and converts them to appointments. And for Phones.trade, we're building a bot that is able to look at images. So imagine somebody's trying to sell you a phone, and you can just tell them, send me some photos, and the AI will grade it for you. When they send you a screenshot of their settings, it will read the IMEI, um, and then it will automatically be able to fetch a price, quote them, ask them where they're located, and send them to the nearest CPR store that you partnered with, right? And send that CPR store a confirmation that somebody's coming, and keep track of how many leads you send it. So all of that is going to be part of the integration with Phones.trade. Our BuyBack AI is going to be amazing. The Phonetest app, like I said before, and I think most important here is the roadmap. Um, you need to know that the system we built now allows us to iterate very, very fast, add new features. And I invite you to go, probably when you're watching this video, on our website. This is at the bottom of the page. But there's going to be some very important updates during the remainder of this year uh, and beginning 2025. This amazing roadmap. The most beautiful thing about the partnership really is that we will be helping you getting more regulars. We get regulars we can cater to. They're probably more in your region, right near in your city. We got cell phone repair stores that we cannot cater to because they're in your city. We got a lot of buyers. They want more stock that we currently have because we're predominantly a software company, right? We are in the game, but we are in the game mainly to test our platform and to optimize it. A lot of leads. We can cater to them. You know that people don't like to mail in their phone most of the times. So if we get leads and they are in your city, we will happily send them to you as well. But there's one catch: we are going to prioritize people in cities that where we don't have other partners yet, right? Because we work on a performance basis. It's much better for us to work with fewer partners than with many, um, because it's simply less work. So make sure you're the first one in your city to get on the waiting list, and we see you on the flip side.